This is a first introduction to the cosine rule. The cosine rule can be very much simpler than the sine rule because there is no possible ambiguous case. The ambiguous case in the sine rule all arises because of this fact. If x is an angle between 0 and 90, then the sine of x is the same as the sine of 180 degrees minus x. An example would be that the sine of 30 degrees is equal to the sine of 150 degrees, and of course 150 is equal to 180 take away 30. You could try this on your calculator to see that it's true. However, in the case of the cosine of x degrees is not equal to the cosine of 180 minus x degrees, and you could try this with 30 and 150 to see that this is not true for the cosine. Because this is not true, we have no possibility of ambiguity. The ambiguous case for the sine rule all arises because of this point that we could have two possible angles to each solution. Here we can see the graphs of sine x and cos x between 0 and 180 degrees, and this can help explain why we get this ambiguous problem with the sine rule but not with the cosine rule. If we take an angle between 0 and 90, for example taking x is 45, we can read across to the y-axis to find the value of the sine of 45, and if we follow this line across, we find that x is 135 also gives this angle, and of course 135 is 180 take away 45. But if we look at the cosine graph, no such situation arises. If we follow the line across, it doesn't meet the curve again. So any single angle between 0 and 180 gives a unique value for the cosine. Therefore, we have the ambiguous case as a possibility for the sine rule, but not for the cosine rule.